ultralight beam. When you're on the ultralight beam, this is a God dream. This is a God dream. This is everything. This is everything. Deliver us serenity. Deliver us peace. Deliver us love, and we know we need it. We know we need it.
Go from your chi, do what you feel, and that's what I'm big on. Stop strategizing so much. Stop setting so many plays. Stop doing things only based in fear. Like, the universe will assist you when you are acting in love. I tweeted this thing where I said, when you're acting in love, you're like a drop of water and you have the ocean as your army. When you act in fear, it's just you and your money. Now, you could take your money and put it in Bitcoin, put a credit form, put it in cash.
Hello, welcome back to YouTube's. I'm your host, Ariel, and in today's episode, I wanted to start a new series. This series will be basically talking about your favorite conscious rappers. Now, conscious rap is a genre that intrigued me for many years. The reason why conscious rap always intrigued me is because I love to see the emotion and the depth of the artist and the way that they just write their lyrics and they're able to rhyme their lyrics. I like to see that. So I've always been someone who enjoyed conscious rap, always been someone who considered herself like a conscious rap connoisseur, if I may say. So I wanted to dig a little bit deeper into the whole conscious rap and its genre. Now, while I was doing my research and just being me and gravitating to the type of music that I gravitated to, I noticed a common theme with our conscious rappers, the poster children for conscious rap. Now, when you think of conscious rap, you think of Kendrick Lamar, you think of Kanye West, you think of Chance the Rapper, you think of J. Cole. So you think of these rappers when you think of conscious rap. And so I wanted to dig deep into the career of each of those rappers. But in today's episode in particular, as you see by the title, we will be digging deep into your favorite rapper, not mine, but maybe your favorite rapper, Kanye West. Now, if you watch YouTube, like any of us do, and hopefully you do watch YouTube, that's why you're watching my channel, duh, then you may have seen all the different documentaries and all these different things of Kanye West and how Kanye West has blazed the way for other conscious rappers using auto-tune, different things like that. So I know you've seen that. But this particular video will be quite different. I'm going to connect all the different conscious rappers and really get an understanding of what kind of consciousness these people are projecting and how me and you should be mindful of what they're really trying to teach. Now, Kanye West is one of the most complex characters in the elite's toolbox. They love to use Kanye West because he is so vocal and so passionate about pretty much everything. But to really understand Kanye, let's start from the beginning. As we know, Kanye West was born June 8th, 1977. His father is Ray West, an American photojournalist, and his mother is Donda West. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but Ray West is a very interesting individual. He was a Black Panther in the 1960s and 70s. He also shot photos of Maya Angelou, Reverend Ralph David Abernathy, and also Ronald Reagan. So Kanye West's father, Ray West, was very locked in to something because he was able to access these very, very important people in our history. We have Donda West. Donda West was also a very prominent woman as well. She was an American professor, but she also was able to get a, I guess, scholarship sort of thing to the Bright program, I think is the name of it. And the interesting thing about this program, it was ran by the US government. What they did was they sent professors to other countries to kind of build a diplomacy with these other countries, to build a relationship, to basically show them the American ways, and then bring that kind of information back to America through this program. So Donda West was a part of this program back when Kanye was a small child. They did move to China during this time. She was teaching, she was being a part of this program, but Shirley came back to America and they moved to Chicago. Now, at this point, Donda West and Ray West was no longer together. Kanye described to his mother that he wanted to be a rapper. As you guys know, Kanye grew up in the 80s, and in the 80s, rap became this phenomenon, and Kanye got a bug, got a taste of it. His mother, she liked music as well. So Kanye was just basically breeded to be who he is today. He had a LinkedIn locked and loaded daddy, and he had a LinkedIn locked and loaded mother, who both were connected, and they produced who we know today as Kanye West. Now, through the influence that Donda West did have in Chicago and in the community of Chicago, she was able to rub shoulders, shake hands with some pretty prominent people like No ID, a producer here in America, and he was pretty famous, especially back in the 90s during the time that Kanye was able to be under a apprenticeship with No ID. No ID basically taught Kanye how to be the producer that he was during that time. Now you may wonder, I thought you said Kanye wanted to be a rapper, where the producer-ism come from, which is not a word. But basically Kanye wanted to be a producer so that he can make beats for his raps. So that's basically how he got into producing. You guys watched the Netflix special that talked about Kanye and how he grew to prominence and fame, and how he met all these people, shook hands and shook shoulders and done all these things. So you guys know what happened after that. But basically he became a famous producer in the industry. Now, as time progressed, he linked up with Jay-Z and Rockefeller's Damon Dash, and he began to be a producer for them. Fast forward, as we all know, Kanye West became a rapper and produced and wrote and rapped his album College Dropout that came out in 2004. Now, for Kanye to be such a new and up-and-coming rapper, he had the greats like Talib Kweli, Common, Mos Def, Freeway, and many more on this album because of his prominence in being a producer. So he kind of had a heads up, if some may say, for a debut album. Now, of course, College Dropout has songs like Jesus Walks, which actually introduced the rap industry or the hip-hop industry to the relationship of a gangster or a rapper and quote-unquote Jesus. So this was a new thing that was introduced to the world. I like to call it the new gospel. So Kanye basically brought to the forefront this idea of the new gospel, and that started with his album The College Dropout. He made songs that basically touched the hearts and the souls of people and made them really think like about their life, about what's being projected, about who they are and what and who they want to be. So The College Dropout did an amazing job at doing that. During that time, The College Dropout in this first week sold 441,000 copies in the first week. It was number 2 on the US Billboard chart, and in total sold 2.3 million units in the United States by November 2004, and it was released early 2004. So the world was thirsty for this quote-unquote new gospel. Stay with me. As time progressed, as we know, The College Dropout did very, very well. He had so many top 20 chart hits like Through the Wire, Slow Jam, All Falls Down, and like I said before, Jesus Walks. Shortly after the release of College Dropout began his second album, which was Late Registration. Now, Late Registration was basically College Dropout Part 2. It was filled with more conscious rap, just as equally as successful as College Dropout. It had songs like Gold Digger, Heard 'Em Say, Touch the Sky, Diamonds from Sierra. The album was jam-packed once again with Kanye West and his famous friends. So it was like Kanye was just like built to win, it kind of seemed like, because number one, he was given all this help starting off from no ID, and then he made all these friends. And so when he came out with his first debut album, he had all these famous people already on the album, which promoted it. And then it was like it was able to push this new thought process, this new consciousness of gospel rap. But let's continue. After Late Registration came out, then we had Graduation. Now, in the trilogy of College Dropout, Late Registration, Graduation, we kind of seen Kanye West grow and change from one person to kind of another person. The College Dropout Kanye, though he was very confident and knew that he was going to be a big deal one day because of the way that his mother instilled the confidence that she instilled in him, he was still fairly humble. But by the time we got to Graduation, we met a new Kanye West. Some may say this was Yeezy, but yes, we met a new Kanye West and a new sort of type of music. He was still on his new gospel, but the gospel, quote unquote, got a little more dark. As we know, Graduation was released on September 11, 2007. The recording sessions took place between 2005, so shortly after College Dropout and Late Registration was released and completed, he started working on Graduation. That's important to note because it shows that though Kanye West gradually changed through these albums, they were created and recorded very close together. So this gradual change happened sort of. It was primarily recorded in Los Angeles, which some may say, why does that matter? But if you listen to Graduation and you listen to the influence behind Graduation and you know Los Angeles, then you can understand why it sounded a little more darker than normal. But maybe that's just how my brain works. It was primarily produced by Kanye West, so we can't say that it had much other influence than from Kanye, which most of his albums are like that. But yes, it was mostly produced by him. He also had famous people on this album as well. He had T-Pain, Lil Wayne, Mos Def, DJ Premier. He had Chris Martin of Coldplay. And also, one may note that the album cover was done by the Japanese contemporary artist Takashi Makami. Now, Makami, I may not be pronouncing that right, but it was interesting to me to know that, because if you look at Takashi's Makamu's art and his expression, it is very, very dark. Okay, it's dark. So the fact that Kanye did link up with this fella here to have this artwork was very interesting. This fella and his contemporary art had a lot of influence also on Kanye's videos to these songs that he released on the Graduation album. Graduation debuted at #1 on the US Billboard chart, and over 957,000 copies was sold in the first week. So he almost hit 1 million copies in the first week. He grew significantly from College Dropout till now. Now, since it was released, it sold 5 million copies in the United States and was certified quadruple platinum. This was a very, very popular album for Mr. Kanye West. It had 5 international singles. It had Stronger, Good Life, Homecoming, and other songs like that. So Kanye West was just known as a hit maker at this point from his 3 albums that came out previous. One song in particular that caught my attention, not at the time, but while I was doing this research, that I thought was very prominent for us to know and to notice the change of Mr. Kanye West, is the song that don't kill me, don't let make me stronger, I need you to hurry up now. Okay, so as we know that song, we know that that song is very, very telling. And I think that song was the transition from this gospel conscious, thought-provoking, clean, Jesus walk rapper that Kanye West was, to the more Yeezy, more dark, raunchy, arrogant Kanye West that many know today. If you look at the lyrics of this song, I just want to point out some of these lyrics to kind of prove my point that the new gospel was something that Kanye West and the people who are helping Kanye in his career during that time was trying to promote to the public. The lyric states, act like you can't tell who made this. New gospel, homie, take 6. Take this, haters. Now, I had to do it in the cadence of the song, but if you guys know this song, which I know you know this song, then you know the part that says, act like you can't tell who made this. New gospel, homie, take 6. Take this, haters. Now, for me, the lyrics did not do it alone, right? Like, you hear that lyric, you know, if you know the song, you rap that lyric, and you're not thinking much of it. But if you look at the video for Stronger, and you really pay attention to what Mr. Kanye West and the people who helped him produce that video was trying to promote and to show you, it shows you the underbelly. It shows you the process. It shows you the lifestyle that a lot of these people have to go through in order to be who they are in your eyes. You notice in this video we have Mr. Kanye West being worked on, which is not something that we have not seen before, because if you also know 50 Cent had a video like that as well, the In the Club video, and in that video Mr. 50 Cent was also being worked on just like Mr. Kanye West. Take a look.
It's your birthday, we gon' sip Bacardi like.
As you see here, Mr. Kanye West and 50 Cent was both being worked on in the same way in their videos that was released around the same time. Now, what were these men trying to show us? I'm not getting off topic, just stay with me. They were basically showing us that in order to be who they are today, you have to be engineered and constructed by people higher than they are in order to promote the things that these people want them to promote. Now, Kanye West and 50 Cent and other artists, like, they show you guys these things all the time. They put it in their videos, but a lot of times we don't pay attention to the videos, or we think it's just artists being weird, that we're not seeing exactly what they're trying to show us. Now, you may bring up, wasn't 50 Cent and Kanye West like beefing and they were like trying to go up against each other at this time? Yes, they was. As I don't know if you guys remember, but I definitely remember being a young girl, Kanye West, 50 Cent going up against each other, trying to see who had the best album and basically who was going to win. All while they were doing that, they had the exact same video, which is very, very strange. When I look and when I think about it, I think Kanye West was the one who won the competition that they had. And from there, Mr. Kanye West soared to the top of the charts with his mom Donda by his side. Now, Miss Donda was a very big part of Kanye's life. If you did watch the documentary, then you know that his mother, after she had retired from being a teacher, she became his manager. And during this time, like, Kanye was going through his escalation up the ladder of the hip-hop charts, let's just say it like that. As Kanye was going up the ladder, his mother was right there by his side, cheering him on, telling him do not worry about it. Now, though Mr. Kanye West had already went through this transformation that we seen in the Stronger video, his mother was still standing by his side, keeping him level-headed, keeping him on the right path. Mr. Kanye West does have a lot of controversies that we can discuss in a later video. Late 2007, after the Graduation album came out, unfortunately, Donda West did lose her life to complications from plastic surgery.
Fire department paramedics, what's the address emergency, please?
She just had surgery. She just had breast.
Give me the address first, ma'am. Ma'am? Tell me what happened. Ma'am, what is the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
I can hear you.
Now, what happened? Why are you calling?
Because she's having a heart attack, she's dying, she's not breathing, and she's not moving. I'm trying to do CPR.
Ma'am, how old is this person?
She's 58 years old.
58?
She's had surgery.
Okay, 58. Now, you're doing CPR?
We're getting ready to start.
Ma'am, is she not breathing at all?
We gave her medication. She complained she couldn't breathe.
Ma'am, okay, so she's not... Ma'am, she's not breathing?
She can't breathe.
Okay, is she breathing?
No, she's not.
She's not breathing.
No, she threw up all this black stuff around her mouth, and we trying to do CPR on her.
Okay, so she's not breathing at all?
She's not responding.
Okay, but I want to know if she's breathing. Is she breathing at all?
She's cold and clammy.
Okay, ma'am, is she breathing?
No, I put the mirror up
okay.
there.
Did you need? Let me go ahead and give you ma'am. Do you need instruction on CPR?
Hey, we need a heavy board. Give me a heavy board.
Ma'am, we've already got people on the way to you. Okay.
Huh?
Ma'am, are you on speakerphone? If you can put me on regular board, I want you to. I'm going to tell you how to do mouth to mouth. I want you to go ahead and again tilt her head back.
Tilt her head back.
Pinch her nose closed.
Tilt her close her nose.
You need to tilt her head back and then pinch her nose closed. Okay, cover her mouth with your mouth and blow 2 regular breaths of air.
Two breaths in her mouth.
2 breaths of air. One per second. Make sure her chest rises with each breath.
Huh?
Make sure her chest rises with each breath.
No, her chest is not rising. Wait.
Okay. Did they do a breath already?
Take a deep breath and blow 2 short breaths in her mouth.
About one each second.
1 each second.
You want to make sure her chest rises with each breath.
Okay. No.
Is her chest going up or down?
No, nothing.
Okay, then try tilting her head back a little bit more. Pinch her nose closed.
Pinch your nose closed.
Okay, and tilt her head back a little bit more, and two more breaths of air.
Is her mouth clear? Yes.
Okay, a nice tight seal on her mouth, and 2 more breaths of air, ma'am.
2 more breaths. I heard paramedics coming over her mouth.
So they're on their way. We've already sent them.
It was a very devastating time for Kanye. If you know anything about Kanye, if you know his story, if you know Donda's story, then you know that the circumstances of her death was questionable. We know that Kanye always blames himself for her death, and because of that, his music has shown that over the time frame that we see today. We know that he has come out with 2 albums that are called Donda and very strange imagery associated with it. But before Kanye did all those things, he came out with an album called 808s and Heartbreaks. Now, rappers have stated that 808s and Heartbreak was the album that kind of propelled them to want to be rappers as well. So 808s and Heartbreaks basically created a subgenre from the conscious rap community to this whole nother genre that we see today in artists like Juice WRLD, in artists like XXXTentacion, in artists like that. The depressed, auto-tune filled rap that we know today. Mr. Kanye West is the one who introduced that. So stay with me. He introduced the new gospel, which is one aspect of Kanye West, and then he introduced the, I say, Yeezy side of Kanye West, which is the 808s and Heartbreak Kanye West that we know of during this era. After 808s and Heartbreaks, we see Kanye West take a severe dramatic turn. Kanye then got on stage and told everyone that Beyonce was supposed to win the award and not Taylor Swift, and then he became the black sheep of the industry.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time.
Being the black sheep of the industry, what do you have to do? You have to redeem yourself. But one thing about Kanye West, and he does not believe in the redemption of the world. So he went to get redemption from who? From this new gospel that he spoke of back during his lay registration graduation period. He went back to his new gospel and he started producing music like Ultra Light Beam. He started producing music, whole gospel albums that Jesus is King. That era of Kanye West that we know of, that a lot of us questioned. If you do know anything about anything and you do believe in the Most High in any way, you questioned when Kanye went from Yeezy to Yeezus and or Ye or whatever his name is, and produced these Christian gospel based albums. Now, my whole point, I know I said a lot and I said it fairly quickly because this is all the things that we know about Kanye West thus far. What started to make me think of Kanye as a sold out complete puppet, even though he was creating quote unquote gospel music, is the fact that the gospel music was still blaspheming the Most High. That's where the new gospel concept goes into. Just like Kanye said, he said, new gospel, homie, take 6, take this, hate us. Kanye West basically is promoting the worship and the idolization of this new king, this new God, this quote unquote Jesus figure that they are trying to push and trying to promote to you guys. They don't want you to put your faith and put your love and put your admiration in the Most High. They want you to put your love, your admiration, and all this into these artists today, or into their God, which is the Baphomet. Now, you're probably like, wow, that took a turn, right? That took a turn. In the beginning of this video, I talked about how we will be talking about how Mr. Kanye West was a poster child for duality, and how conscious rap is a aspect of how the elite loves to push out their concepts of duality. Now, what is duality, you may ask? The whole purpose of the video is to show you how these people are utilizing the concept of duality. But what is duality? Duality is basically utilizing the good and the bad. But for these people, they're both bad, but it's like the light and then the darkness. So you have these videos that show you just straight satanic, demonic things, and you're thinking to yourself, wow, this is super demonic. But then you have videos from artists like Kanye West, you have videos from artists like Chance the Rapper, you have videos from artists like J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, where they're playing this quote-unquote Jesus figure or God figure for the rap fans to adore or to admonish. You see what I'm saying? So they have their dark demonic music that they put out, but then they also have their quote-unquote light music that make the lukewarm Christians or the lukewarm people who believe in the Most High think that these people are not satanic. This is why this conscious rap and the conscious rap genre is so dangerous, because what it's doing is it's blurring the line, actually causing a lot of quote-unquote lukewarm Christians or lukewarm people who claim that they believe in the Most High or believe in the Bible to fall and to slip. One thing that really made me want to dig very deep into Kanye West himself is because he kept coming out with these Sunday worship services. The Sunday worship services need a video in and of itself because it needs to be exposed. Kanye West and the Sunday worship service is complete blasphemy. And what they're doing, they're not praising the Most High. They're not praising, you know, the quote-unquote God of the Bible. They're praising Baal. They're praising the devil, basically. And so when you, as a person who's supposed to believe in the Most High or supposed to believe in the Bible, when you're singing these things, you are invoking very, very dark demonic spirits onto you, and it's a form of blaspheming in a way. I, as a person who believes in the Most High but also thought that this conscious rap wasn't as bad as it was, listened to this music as well, and I noticed a sort of terminology that Kanye and that a lot of these rappers use in their music, but it's supposed to be quote unquote gospel. Words like ultralight beam. As we know, Kanye West has a song where he's praising Jesus or whatever the case may be, and he's using words like ultralight beam. Ultralight beam, that's not the Most High. He has this Saturn worship thing that he does, and you may ask, like, what is Saturn worship? I'll show you just a slight clip, a slight snippet of what Kanye is doing during the Sunday worship. This clip that I'm going to put in here right now is from the Sunday worship service that Kanye held after his friend passed away. I think his name is Ablo. I'm going to do a video on Ablo, but his friend Ablo, when he passed away, Kanye did a Sunday service. Now, if you look at this Sunday service video right here, if you look at this video, what's basically happening is that they are worshiping Saturn. Now, I'm going to put a little information on who Saturn is in the video as well. But if you watched my Why I Think Rihanna is Weird video, then you would see the research that I put in there based off Rain Man. Rain Man is a demonic form of Satan. Saturn is also a manifestation of that as well. It's just they use a whole bunch of different religions, a whole bunch of different belief systems to put them all together as one, so that when they say different things, you don't know who it means, or you don't know who they are representing when they say these things unless you do the research. So I'm gonna do the research for you. Kanye West is a Saturn worshiper. This is why Kanye wears all this black. This is why Kanye loves cube worship. This is why Kanye loves to levitate. This is why Kanye burned down a church. This is why Kanye married a demonic witch bride during the Donda ritual that's going to be in part 2. But this is why Kanye is doing all this, because Kanye is a Saturn worshiper. And what they want you to do is worship Saturn. But in order for you to worship Saturn, you got to believe that you are worshiping quote unquote Jesus. That's why it's so important not to be lukewarm. So while you're going to the Sunday services, and a lot of people rush to these services anytime that Kanye holds these things, while you're doing that, you are then going and worshiping Saturn unknowingly. He's leading a lot of people astray. And that's what this conscious rap genre is also doing through the other rappers as well. I know I gave you a lot of information right here. I want you to chew on this information. I want you to think about this information, and I'm gonna come back to you in part 2. Part 2, I'm going to tell you guys more information about Donda and the Donda ritual that Kanye did for part 1 and part 2 of the album. He had Donda 1, then he had Donda 2. It'll be in part 2. So please stay tuned to part 2. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, put what you think about Kanye, and do you think that he is a part of this duality that they're trying to promote? Is Kanye one of the artists that the elite are using in order to lead quote unquote Christians astray? Subscribe to the channel, like I said. Listen to the podcast. Thank you so much. Bye.